Hello, my name is Beck and welcome to a video where I talk about some of my 5-star predictions. I have a ton of stuff on my reading list still. I believe close to 60 books, and I've picked off a couple that I think will be 5-star reads, so let's get into chatting about them and let me know your comments down below. I really want to revisit this video late in 2020 to see kind of what my reactions and responses are to this. So I'm just going to insert some footage of my TBR shelf so that you can see what I'm talking about. I have a bunch of stuff that's on my list to read still. Obviously I've read The Name of the Wind, so just disregard that. I don't have anywhere else to put it. I have unhauled my Game of Thrones set when you're watching this, so check out a reading vlog that I'll link in the description if you want to see kind of why. But the rest of the stuff is fair game, so let's get into my first choice. My first choice is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and I have been avoiding this for many years. I don't know when I first received this book. I know that I got it straight up, full price from a bookstore, and I can't even remember when. It was probably like 3 years ago now. It is all weathered because it's been sitting on my shelf in the sun, so the pages are a little bit bent, but that is okay. I'm sure it's going to be great. I only know that this follows a bunch of university students or college students, I think, and I don't know if they're actually going to college or uni or they've just graduated, but I think it's also set in New York and it just follows their relationships and some really intense stuff, I think, with mental health. So I believe there's a warning for suicide or trigger for suicide in here. I don't know if it actually goes ahead, but it's probably discussed fairly in depth. So I don't really have any triggers, so I can go into this fairly blind and be okay. So I anticipate it's going to be a fairly emotional read, and that's why I'm putting it on this list, because as much as I hate crying, it dehydrates me, it gives me a headache. I love books that I cry over because that means they had such an emotional impact on me, and I think that's what this is going to have in 2020. The next book that I've got is The Natural Way of Things, and it is by Charlotte Wood. So I picked this up when I was working at a publisher and I had a staff discount, and because it had a pretty cover, that's really the only reason that I grabbed it. It also had pretty end flaps, and I'm just a sucker for the package of a book as well. I'm sure everyone can relate, but anyway, I only know that this is like The Handmaid's Tale but the Australian version, and that's really all I needed to get it pitched to me before I bought it, so I am really looking forward to it. I don't know anything except that I think it follows two women and they wake up on a farm and they've been kidnapped or something. But I could be completely wrong. That could be a complete lie. But I'm still anticipating this. I'm still looking forward to it. I hope I like the writing style. And I know that it's been blurred by Clementine Ford and she is wonderful. So high hopes for this one. And if this derails my expectations, I'm going to be very sad. Next up on this list, I have Parasite by Myra Grant. And I'm only including this on my list because one, it's dystopian or maybe sci-fi, and that's pretty much what I love reading, but also Myra Grant is a pen name and she actually writes under Seanan McGuire, and Seanan McGuire wrote Every Heart a Doorway and that novella series, and I think that's a beautiful series. I'm absolutely in love with the writing, so I think delving into her under a pen name in a different genre is going to be a lot of fun. And it basically says that in our future, like a decade in our future, we owe good health to the humble parasite, so we've gotten rid of disease, which kind of sounds like a similar premise to Scythe by Neil Shusterman. There's a utopia, effectively, and disease has been conquered, and has it though? Is it really a utopia? So I really like those dystopias viewed as utopias, and you kind of see all the grit and bad things that are secretly going on and how that all gets exposed. So I'm really looking forward to a story like that, and the title alone, Parasite, makes me go, ugh. So I think it's going to be a good read. I do have this and I have the sequel Symbiote on my TBR. So if I can get through both of them, that will be great, but I'll just see how I go with the first book first and see if I like it enough to continue. Because I keep doing that. I keep setting series on my TBR and then going, didn't like the first book, unhaul. So I'm just going to stick with this one for now. And hopefully I really enjoy it, and hopefully it is a 5-star read. And then lastly on this list is a book that I have started. I don't know if I've started it twice, maybe once. Either way, I've seen the movie and the movie just took the title of the book and put it onto the film. They don't really have a correlation. There's a little bit of a setting correlation and a main character correlation, but that's really it. And I'm talking about World War Z by Max Brooks. Max Brooks? Yeah. I read the beginning of this and it was basically a first-hand experience of different perspectives on the outbreak of the apocalypse and how the first like patient zero was dealt with and the ramifications of the zombie virus breaking out in different cultures and with different people in different societies. And I really like the premise of that, but I think the physical reading of it is fairly dry to me because I've tried reading it physically and it just didn't work. So Dave has read this already and he said that there's an audiobook with really big name actors in it, and I'm surprised more hype hasn't been raised for this considering the names attached to it. Off the top of my head, I can only remember Nathan Fillion and I love him, so highly anticipating enjoying the version of this on audiobook. So if I remember, I'll put a list here of the different narrators because I think this will be an incredible listening experience. Just imagining it now gets me excited, so I'm looking forward to reading this on audio. Maybe I'll read along as I listen to it on audio, but that's probably unlikely. I'll probably be driving or something when I listen to the audiobook. But anyway, hopefully this gets a 5 stars. I'm anticipating it'll be like probably a 4, but we'll see. I want to be optimistic, so I'm going to say 5 stars. And there you go, that is it for my 5-star predictions. Let me know if you've read any of these because I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts. I always see hype for A Little Life, so if you've read A Little Life, let me know, but also let me know about the others because I don't really see them talked about too much and I'd like to hear from you. And I also want to mention that I'm wearing really cute overalls today and you can't really see them in this video, just the way it's framed. So I'm going to show you. Look at them, they're Harry Potter. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in my next one and I'll chat to you in the comments. Bye.